pro bono costs in the sentence, I'd say, from a litigation perspective, being a litigator, they work pretty much in the same way as normal costs, and I found that seeking a pro bono cost order was fairly the same as seeking a regular cost order. We had to file a cost statement. The judge went through our cost statement and there was some dispute over it. The only difference was that it was, when the cost order was given, it was made out in favour to the Access to Justice Foundation so that it could be reinvested. With pro bono cost orders, any part of the representation that was done on a pro bono basis can be claimed under a pro bono cost order. That also includes if maybe part of the representation was fee paying and part was done pro bono. The fee paying part can be claimed as normal costs and the pro bono part can be claimed under a pro bono cost order. So even in a situation when all of the work was pro bono, you can still seek pro bono cost order. I think there was an element throughout the case where the defendant didn't take the claimant seriously. I think that was shown in the initial defense he put forward, but also he didn't expect her to end up with the level of and the quality of representation that she did have, and that's testament to the pro bono system. The case actually came about in an almost opposite way, where the bar pro bono unit referred it to solicitors and we were the ones who picked it up. And so I think the costs were also part of that, because it's like, okay, well, she's now represented fine, but they're doing it pro bono, so I don't think, like I said, I don't think they expected us to seek costs, so possibly they actually thought that there was less risk to not settling because the penalty would be lower. Maybe he would just have to pay the judgment debt, which would form the money which he owed her anyway. But then actually, when you added the pro bono cost order on top of it, it suddenly became an amount that couldn't be ignored. So I think in that case, they didn't realize until it was too late that costs would be a significant part of what was awarded by the court. And I think if they did, it probably would have settled earlier. So advocating on the day was actually Adam Kramer from Free Verulant Buildings, and as part of his submissions, when he set out to the judge what we were seeking, we said we were also seeking a pro bono cost order. We didn't even have to say in favour of the Access to Justice Foundation because that's understood, but yeah, he said that we would be seeking our costs in the form of a pro bono cost order. The judge made no comment on that. I think a lot of people might actually undersell how much time they spent, because maybe they would feel like, oh, I can't charge at my usual rate. I was working pro bono, but because at MoFo we treat pro bono cases in exactly the same way. Everything was there as it would be in a regular case, so it was quite straightforward to do. I think I would have it in my mind earlier, and in having it in my mind earlier, I would remind the other side earlier that were we to secure judgment, we would also be seeking a pro bono cost order, and I'd maybe even just explain in that email that this would be our full costs to date on the case, so that they just understand that that element is there, because, as I said, I think that they underestimated what the final quantum would be in the judgment. And so, again, that could be a negotiating tool and help towards settlement earlier. So I think that's what I would do differently next time. I mean, seeking costs is a strategic decision, but I think one which in the vast majority of cases a solicitor would do for their client. And so I think on that basis, unless there is a strategic reason not to seek costs, if it would hinder settlement or something in some way, then solicitors, barristers, whoever is advocating for the client should definitely look to seek costs, especially as it reinvests. I think that for me was key, because understanding where the costs would go to and who we're doing it on behalf of helps. And so I think that's an element that maybe a lot of people don't know, because they don't quite understand whether if they seek a pro bono cost order, is it going to them, is it going to the client? That's the one thing in speaking to people about pro bono cost orders that I think surprised them. But then I think as well, it goes to the worthiest cause that it could possibly go to. So